Loma Linda, California, where Los Angeles meets the desert, and people face the destructive power of venom. Sean Bush is at the center of the battle between venom and medical science, drawing on every shred of knowledge and experience he can find. That quest will take him on a 2,000-mile journey in order to save lives here on the front line, home of the VenomER. It's 4 a.m., and the latest bite victim is being transferred from Victor Valley Hospital to the venom experts in Loma Linda. Jessica Garcia was bitten at Wrightwood in the San Bernardino Hills above Loma Linda, and she's in intense pain. 7 hours into her night shift, new intern Jenny Cohen is set for a big case. She'll be responsible for Jessica's treatment in the ER.
Any trouble with your vision? Any nausea or throwing up?
No.
Okay. Are you allergic to...
Right now, it's not clear what type of snake bit Jessica. Sean is off duty, but has been paged. His role tonight will be to support Jenny as she broadens her knowledge. The decisions will be Jenny's.
How about under here?
Yeah, that's where it is.
How about up here?
Not up there.
How about right here?
Yeah. Yeah.
The venom is causing painful swelling in Jessica's arm and attacking the nerves in her face.
What time is it?
She was given Crofab antivenom at the first hospital. Now Jenny needs to mark the progress of the swelling.
What time did this all happen?
Around 10 o'clock.
Around 10 o'clock.
Jessica's parents have arrived, and Jenny briefs them.
Yeah, I was feeling right. I don't feel any swollen lymph nodes or anything like that. Her pain ends right about here, so we're just gonna keep following that. See what happens with it. Got the antivenom in, give her pain medication.
They said she'd probably still get swollen throughout her body.
Yeah,
possibly
well, she may.
in her face, because her right eye, or her left eye rather, is, see, they're both swollen.
Yeah. Well, hopefully with the antivenom, that should actually stop what's going on locally here. We actually keep giving more until it kind of stops progressing. And our initial dose will be dependent on when we can actually get everything under control.
As well as tissue damage, there's intense pain and shock to deal with.
Quick question. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being extreme and 0 being none, how would you rate your pain right now? On a scale of 1 to 10.
It's tolerable, so maybe like 6 or 7.
Like a 6 or 7. Okay, we're just gonna use that scale just to rate so we get this better now. Okay, we'll try to get you in a comfortable bed. Be patient with us. Things are gonna take a little bit of time.
All right.
Okay, we'll take care of you. Any questions? Just ask us, okay?
That's right.
It's for one of you guys.
That's okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Sean's not due on shift until 9 a.m. tomorrow, but he's in 5 hours early to help Jenny out.
Hey.
Morning, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
How's she doing?
She's doing fine. She has one pain mark on her left third finger with a little bit of bruising, swelling.
So she doesn't really have much of a coagulopathy?
Not much coagulopathy. She's not really having any. She said when it first happened, she had a little bit of numbness in her mouth and her whole body. But that went away after she got the Crofab, and now she's just having a lot of pain there, basically all the way up her arm, her nausea.
With the symptoms clear, it's time to decide on treatment.
What time did she get the Crofab?
It's a good question. 3 o'clock?
3 a.m.
3 o'clock.
And what kind of snake was it?
Didn't see it, just heard some rustling in the bushes. She reached in the bush to get something and felt something bite her and then heard rustling, so we didn't see anything.
Didn't see the snake. Okay.
A positive ID helps, but Sean has the knowledge to deduce which snake was involved. Both the location and the symptoms suggest a Southern Pacific. Jenny wishes she had this level of understanding.
Right.
Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. All right. Was it just a single?
There was a little bit in the front. When I first saw it, there was a little bit of bleeding right here. Two little spots.
You saw 2 little spots.
Yeah.
Jay, did you find one or two?
I just found the one. She has like little scratches.
Yeah.
Sean's checks may highlight a peculiarity in Jessica's case. Every human body reacts in subtly different ways.
Snake bite. And it hurts all the way up into here. Up in here. Since the medicine has gone in, does it seem to be continuing to progress, or does it seem to have stopped?
Well,
Or
when I had the medicine in me, it stopped for a while, but now it's back.
now it's back. Now all this numbness around you, all over your
It's
body?
gone. It's gone. The numbness is gone.
Numbness
the only
is
pain
gone.
is in the arm and in my hand.
So it's just pain in here.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Didn't you catch a glimpse of the snake, huh?
You just broke it. Look at that. When it's hot, rattlesnakes are active in the dark.
We were throwing a ball around. The ball broke off, and I went to look for it.
Their heat sense means they can see us when we can't see them.
I turned around and put my hand up on a cement ledge wall.
The background is complete. Now Sean switches to training mode with Jenny.
Okay, so we got a decision to make, and I'm gonna let you make this decision since I always make this decision.
Okay.
Have we reached initial control? Should we start a maintenance dose, or do you think she needs more anti-venom?
I don't think we've reached initial control because I think her pain is swelling and still progressing up her arm.
How much anti-venom you want to get?
I think if you haven't achieved initial control, you give another dose of 4 to 6. Is that correct? Rather than just 2?
Okay,
Is a
4 to
maintenance
6
dose, it
sounds
would be
good to
2?
me. Let's mix up another 4 vials and give it to her.
Okay.
Now the other thing is, do you remember how I was telling you how it caused you to swell all over your body?
I was just going to ask you about the swelling.
Yeah.
Because it's starting.
I mean, the snake venom will make you swell everywhere. I mean, it's gonna make her swell, particularly in the arm, but all over her body she's gonna swell a bit. So what do you want to be sure and do?
Just watch her airway.
Watch her airway and
Oh, take off her jewelry. Take off her rings.
So let's take off the jewelry. We're gonna give you.
It's a vital detail. Jewelry can cut off the blood supply to her finger. There's a lot to think about, but the more experience Jenny gains under Sean's guidance, the greater her value to the ER team.
There.
Is it normally that hard to get off, or
Oh, no.
maybe you are a little
It is.
swollen?
The biggest challenge is that every snake bite is different, and that demands a range of knowledge and experience. 10 weeks into her training, Jenny's starting to understand it all.
Hey, I got a question for you. What kind of snake could it be up in Wrightwood?
Southern Pacifics are kind of mountain coast, non-desert snakes.
That's right. And plus, she had all this numbness, right?
Yeah.
Even the technique for rolling crowfab is a matter of experience, another skill for Jenny to learn.
But mine's dissolving
Yeah,
faster
we
than
should
yours.
give
I want
him
I
some-
want to point that out. See?
That's my
This is
slow.
yours.
It's never
See?
gonna dissolve. Big deep breath in and out.
Yeah, Jessica's still having quite a bit of pain, and the swelling seems like it's kind of advancing up her arm still. So we're gonna give her some more anti-venom. But I think probably after this we'll get control. There you go. Good job.
The team gets the next 4 vials going.
Well, let me go tell her she's gonna be here for the long haul. Make sure she's.
Okey-doke.
Let's go make sure she's tolerant in that infusion.
Okie doke.
Just let's check her lungs and look in her mouth and all that sort of stuff.
Good. What do you look in the mouth?
The neurotoxin in the venom can attack the throat, closing down breathing.
So 30 cc's are in. We're just making sure she's tolerant in the.
It's tough on her parents. The bite is a shock, and they're powerless to help.
Good. No rash.
Jenny has the treatment underway, and Sean provides some comfort.
One couple things I want to tell you is she's gonna be down here for a long time. We have to give this anti-venom over the course of about 18 hours, and I think her last dose is sometime around midnight tomorrow. I've definitely seen worse snake bites than this recover fully,
All right.
and I think that's what's gonna happen to her. In fact, I'm pretty sure of it. The only part I can't tell you about is that little tip of her finger.
An hour later, Jessica's crowfab is working, and Jenny's completed a long night shift with the team.
Let's calculate the worst snake bite severity score.
The worst?
Yeah, the worst that she's had.
Oh, okay.
When every snake bite is different, there's a constant learning curve. Each new experience bonds Sean and Jenny.
So she's about a 4 now, and I bet you she'll get even better.
I bet you're right. Dr. Bush, I'm heading home for the morning.
All right,
Talk to you later.
Good work in there.
Thank you. Bye, guys. See you later.
Bye.
With Jessica safe in the ER, Jenny ends her shift drained, but satisfied. Tonight, she's learned a lot that will help her in the future.
Jenny Cohen has done amazingly well. She's very bright. She's a great intern. I'm proud of her. She picked up very quickly. She learned her snakes. She went home and studied snakebite treatment, and I can tell that she's going to pick up this very well. But snakebite is very variable. Every case is different, and so it's not like you can just see one, treat one, teach one. I think you need to treat a bunch of these to be fully ready for whatever comes in.
Bites can happen throughout the team's area, 40,000 square miles. This time of year, more happen at dawn and dusk when the snakes are active. Sean's work extends beyond the ER, up into the foothills, the home of the highly unpredictable southern Pacifics, and out into the high desert, the habitat of neurotoxic Mojave rattlesnakes. He needs to understand their behavior patterns, so next day, he's heading out into Mojave territory when VenomER returns on Animal Planet. It's vital for Sean to understand as much as possible about rattlesnake activity patterns. He's traveling into the desert with another member of the Loma Linda snake team, Mike Cardwell. He has tracked the movements of wild Mojaves for 2 years, using electronic tags implanted in the snakes. Today, the latest study animal is going back to its home territory.
Oh, wow, it's a cute one.
Yeah, just born this year. Now he's got a little electronic tag in him that he'll hold for the rest of his life. Now we can read this tag right through the bottom of the bucket.
Yeah, it says O's.
Mike records every encounter he has with a tagged snake.
Little tag in his belly for the rest of his life.
Cool.
We grab the snake hook there.
Yep.
We'll go turn him loose.
All right.
We don't see many of these neonates in the springtime. I think there's obviously a lot of mortality over the winter. Probably has a lot to do with these guys not feeding successfully before they hibernate.
It weighs just over an ounce, but it's armed with the venom to kill rodents.
Well, so we just leave him alone?
There he goes.
Rattlesnakes don't lay eggs, but give birth to live young, each with just one segment at the tip of the tail. Every time it sheds its skin, it will add another segment to make up the warning rattle. And Mike will be able to follow it through its life. But as the desert towns expand, Mojave rattlesnakes and people are on a collision course. A quarter of the cases in Sean's ER are Mojave bites. And the ones that live here behave just like the snakes in Mike's study area.
This is a home range program that shows...
In the lab, his data shows how much time the snakes are recorded in one place. They spend the bulk of their time in very small areas, but the two sexes behave very differently.
I think what's going on is the girls are sitting around ambushing a kangaroo rat every now and then, and the males in the spring and the fall are moving around a lot to find the females. In fact, we've got another nice graph here that kind of shows daily movement this year compared to last year. And you can see last year with the dotted lines, just look at the difference, the red being the females and the blue being the males.
The interesting thing about this one is it has 2 peaks exactly when I see a lot of snake bites. my snake bite chart would look just like this.
Interesting. And you've seen more, I think you said, bites this year than last, didn't you?
Yeah, quite a few more.
In the future, Mike's data will show when the snakes start to move, alerting Sean to prepare for more bite cases. Snake bites happen in the summer, with peaks in May and late August. But the ER also treats spider bites all year round. And the big danger here are the black widows. They only inject a tiny amount, but their venom is incredibly toxic. It can cause a huge reaction in the human body. Two days later, 11 p.m., and Sean's been paged. There's a small child heading for the ER with a suspected spider bite.
Hello, hello. All right, so
Justin Knight is only 3 years old and in intense pain, despite heavy medication.
Now, where's the bite? Hey, buddy. Right here. Oh, yeah. That's a classic black widow spider bite. It's as classic as it gets. Look, it looks like a little target or a little bullseye. Y'all saw the spiders. And could you describe the spider to me? Or?
About quarter-inch spider, black, and had a little red dot.
Where's the red marking?
On the belly.
A bite is intensely painful, and the treatment is imperfect because it also carries a risk of reaction.
Now, he has asthma, is that right?
He had it before he was a year old. He hasn't had an attack in 2 years.
Okay,
It
good.
was just bronchial asthma.
How did he get bitten?
As well as asthma, both Justin and his parents have multiple allergies. There's always a risk of allergic reaction to the antivenom. But with this family history, Justin's risk is heightened. The reaction, anaphylaxis, would hit his already sensitive airways and could cause a drop in blood pressure, reducing the oxygen supply to vital organs.
Some more pain medicine, some more sedatives probably now, pretty soon here.
Now, his parents face a difficult decision, whether or not their son should have antivenom.
Puffy in the eyes or anything?
No.
The spider bite.
It's okay, it's okay.
I'm sorry, you wanna come up? I can see that he's still real uncomfortable though from the spider bite. There's basically two ways you can treat black widow spider bite. One is with pain medicines and sedatives, and the other was with an antivenom. The antivenom completely cures it. In fact, he could probably go home after the antivenom. But it's got this side effect. It's got this side effect of allergic reaction that we take all the precautions against.
The Black Widow antivenom is on standby, but the asthma and allergies in Justin's case make the decision harder. And all the time, he continues to react to the attack of the venom.
In fact, the allergic reaction can be very severe. There's actually one reported case in the literature of someone dying from the allergic reaction. The other thing, though, that's a risk is he has asthma, and the person that died actually had asthma.
If he's on the pain medication, I mean, he'll be okay once the pain's gone, right?
Yeah, the problem is it could take a long time. It could take days. I mean, he could be writhing around in the hospital like this for days in pain. And people have died from black widow spider venom, too.
It's hard for him, but Sean has to tell them everything, then leave them with the choice. What Martin and Donna decide is crucial. Justin Knight is in the ER, suffering a very painful black widow spider bite. It's a troubling case for Sean.
The severity is moderate. It's not the most severe bite I've ever seen, but it's kind of, and that makes it more difficult to treat. If he progresses and does worse, well, he'll definitely need antivenom, but right now he's just kind of in that gray zone to where it's hard to be sure what to do.
An hour after Justin first came in, the family has reached a decision.
We've decided that we kind of want to hold off for now
Okay.
and, you know, pay medication, sedation, and
Yeah.
go from there. But as long as there's not going to be any permanent damage left from not giving him the antivenom.
I think you're doing the right thing. I would definitely strongly consider just treating him with pain medicine and sedatives and watching him. It's something that you could decide later to give him antivenom. We just have to do the drill again and be prepared for it. But at this point, I think we should hold off on it for now. Keep a close eye on him. And we'll check on him. I'm on duty tomorrow somewhere else, but I can come check on him late in the day and see how he's doing.
Baby.
It is difficult to sit there and watch your child in pain, but the medicine is just, it's an imperfect medicine. It's fraught with these side effects. And I wish there was a better medicine, but right now there's not.
You gotta leave this one on, all right?
At last, a vital piece of evidence arrives from the Knight family's house.
All right, so that's the spider right there. That's the one that bit him.
It's an immature spider. Although the bite site is inflamed, the venom dose should be relatively small. Sean feels Donna and Martin's decision was the right one.
Dr. Bush. Hey, Dr. Hahn, you in the PICU tonight? I got a kid that I think needs to come to the...
Now, Sean can arrange the transfer to the pediatric department.
I'd like to tell you that I'm very interested in these cases, and if later on, if he worsens, and you decide that the parents decide they want to reconsider antivenom, please give me a page.
30 minutes later, Justin is already looking better, but the bite has taken its toll on his parents. They are exhausted.
Your baby weighs 10 ounces. Very cute. Oh, it's kind of...
In a couple of months, Sean will be a dad too, with the responsibility of a baby on this front line. As well as the routine of scans and checkups, he plans to move the snakes from the family garage.
I know, honey. I know. They're all cool.
Sean is a snake enthusiast. He understands their attraction. But in the ER, he's seen the fascination with snakes go to extremes. It's responsible for the next case in the VenomER. 6 hours later, Sean's back in the hospital. Mercy Air has flown in a patient from Barstow. He's the latest victim of a Mojave rattlesnake bite, a bite that happened in his house.
And he was trying to catch a hold of one of
Dr. Jenny Hargrove gives Sean the update.
Bit him on the finger, just one fang, caught him in the middle of the finger, so...
You were saying to show me?
Sure.
Oh. Good morning, sir. How you doing? I'm Dr. Bush.
While Sean has housed snakes for the university, Albert Chavez was bitten by a rattlesnake he kept as a pet.
Where's this bite? All right. Sorry to mess with this. All right, I'm gonna want to clean this up and get a little better look at it. Doesn't look too bad. Does it hurt up into your hand here? Yeah. But it doesn't really hurt up in here. Or up in here? How about up here?
Right there, yeah, right.
How about here?
There's no swelling, but Mojave venom has dangerous neurotoxins.
A little here? There's a little mark on him right there. You keep snakes for a pet?
Yes.
You're a snake enthusiast? You like snakes?
Yes.
All right. Now this was, well, what kind of snake was this?
This is Mojave.
It's definitely Mojave? All right.
The initial dose of Crofab was given at the Barstow Community Hospital.
Oh yeah, I see it. Did you feel any, yeah, there's a single puncture right there. And his finger's pretty swollen, but it's not too tense. You're gonna have to stay here throughout the course of your treatment, which entails about 18 to 24 hours, okay? All right, sir, thank you. This is a 27-year-old guy from Barstow who was keeping a Mojave rattlesnake, or actually a few Mojave rattlesnakes for pets. It's a very dangerous, very toxic snake. He took one out of the cage and it bit him on the fingertip. I don't really know why he was handling the snake on a Sunday night, but he was, and now he's in the ER.
Sean would advise anyone against keeping a venomous snake as a pet. 2 hours later, Albert's first course of Crofab is complete, and Sean may be able to move him onto a maintenance dose.
How you doing now? Still hurting? Did you get a little pain medicine? Did they give?
Yeah, earlier.
Yeah? Sort of causing a little pain in your finger?
A lot.
All right. Is it radiating up your arm there?
What?
Pain going up your arm?
Yeah.
You're gonna get a little bruise, maybe even a blister there.
Okay.
It's gonna hurt on that fingernail, huh? Try to get you in a more comfortable bed, get your pain under control, and then I'll be checking on you periodically, okay?
Sure.
All right. He's doing pretty well now. I think it's probably because he got prompt treatment. This guy was bitten at 9 p.m. He got anti-venom at 11 p.m. And he's already here, came in by helicopter. Everything went just boom, 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 quick. And that's why I think he's doing well.
The medical system has prevented a tragedy. But Sean has some big questions that need answers. The most fundamental is, with all we know, why do people still handle rattlesnakes? Sean's quest for answers continues on VenomER. Snakes fascinate many people. Amazing to watch, but they're fast and armed with deadly venom. Yet many of Sean's patients have touched the snake that bit them. Understanding this means studying the power of the snake in human psychology. Sean's search for answers starts with a house call on former patients Joel and John Stull. That involves a 2-hour drive out into the remote desert. Both brothers have been patients in the ER.
Hey, John.
How's it going, Sean?
Good.
Been a while.
How's your snake bites healing up?
4 weeks earlier, John was flown into the VenomER with a suspected leg bite.
Actually, this right here is where I got bit by a
Really?
guy. Yeah. I'll show you. I went over here, unlocked the car, and I was standing here like this, and I got bit right here in the ankle, and he was just curled up right down here.
He admitted that he drank rattlesnake venom, thinking it built up immunity. It's the opposite of all medical advice. His brother Joel was in the ER in July 2002.
This is John Stull's brother. Can't believe it.
Still got a little
Snakes
tension
are
in
part of daily life for John and Joel.
Now, do you drink venom too?
No.
This is John Stull trademark.
Yeah. I had heard of other people doing it, so I tried it, and one night when I was milking my snakes, I took the venom from one snake. I just diluted it with a little water and drank it that way. I would sometimes even put it in a shot of tequila and have the original snake bite.
Snake handling first put John in the hospital in April 2002.
It's really hard to know if any particular intervention that you performed had any effect on the envenomation severity. But when you got a rattlesnake bite, it still hurt. Explain that to me.
As the venom started to work its way, I felt a lot of the pain in the joints, the hands, the fingers. Considering that the effects that most people have from a Mojave green bite, I feel that it could have been much worse had I not, at that time, drank the venom.
But it also made his case highly unpredictable. There was a huge risk of an allergic reaction and a tough decision for Sean. John is the only patient Sean's given Crofab for 2 separate snake bites.
So I just have one more question. If you keep handling snakes and drinking venom, do you think that we're gonna meet again?
I would say yes. I don't think my chances necessarily will get better, you know, by drinking the venom, but I think it reduces my risk. I believe that. And I would never keep myself from medical attention in the event of a situation like that.
There are people who want to handle snakes, and the life-saving service that Sean's team provides means people like John can take their fascination to extremes. And there's a big problem. Snake bites are so variable that the antivenom is not a complete response to the phenomenal challenge of venom.
I think we still have a ways to go with perfecting this medication, and we're going to continue to work on that. Meanwhile, envenomation is an extremely variable process. Snake venom is changing, and so if it's going to evolve, we have to evolve.
Studying animals rather than medicine may provide some answers, because this mammal, the ground squirrel, is immune to rattlesnake venom. Within its blood is a protein factor that acts just like Crofab, binding the venom. Based at the University of California in Davis, Dr. Jim Biardi is studying wild ground squirrels, searching for the precise molecule that gives this animal immunity.
Definitely an adult, nice large animal. I've got some really prominent nipples, so female. It looks like I'll be able to get a good blood sample from her.
He uses medical procedures in his search, taking blood samples and using full anesthetic. Jim will refine the blood to a molecular level. He needs to start with a big sample. It must be taken directly from the heart.
3 cc's, which will leave me about 1.5 milliliters of blood plasma. She's had about 15 minutes or so to recover from the anesthetic after the bleeding, so let me check and see. If I can put her on her back and have her roll over, then I know she's well on the way to recovery. Okay, so let's see if she can roll over. Yeah, so she's gonna be fine. Okay, so it looks like she's fully recovered from the anesthesia and ready to go back into the burrow.
Sean uses regular lab tests to track the venom effects in his patients. And Jim's work is very similar, pitting rattlesnake venom against the squirrel blood proteins.
The third column is the activity of the venom when it's been pre-incubated with blood plasma from these squirrels. And you'll see that the numbers are a little bit lower. The difference between those is the measure that I'm looking at of inhibition. What we see here is the amount of blood plasma that I've actually included in this assay is only 5 microliters, which is basically 5 millionths of a liter. Very tiny amount of blood plasma, but it is still able to significantly inhibit the activity of the venom.
Even if we could just neutralize this one component in venom, it would be so helpful in the treatment of patients with snake bites.
But it's because snakes and squirrels have lived as predator and prey for millions of years that the natural immunity is so strong. And in trying to overcome the ground squirrel's immunity, the snakes develop ever more varied venom effects. Sean's team in the ER deal with the victims of a natural conflict between rattlesnake venom and ground squirrel immunity. Now they're talking about squirrels as well as patients.
The snakes, to stay ahead of those squirrels, are going to have to probably develop neurotoxins in their venom to knock down the squirrels or something that's going to defeat this protease inhibitor. In fact, that may be why the Southern Pacifics down here have neurotoxic venom.
Jim Biardi's research may help improve bite treatments, but it's also clear to Sean that a rattlesnake bite affects human victims long after the event. Understanding why is his next challenge. Coming up on VenomER. The long-term effects of snake bites are puzzling Sean. Evan Nelson is in the hospital physical therapy department 6 weeks after being bitten by a Southern Pacific rattlesnake. He's still recovering, reactivating the nerves in his hands. He was bitten in his house by an intruding wild snake. His bite was particularly bad, rating 13 out of 20 on Sean's snake severity score, when the average is less than 5. 6 weeks later, he still gets a checkover from Sean, concerned that his arm is still weak from the envenomation.
Give me a squeeze, hard as you can. That's good strength. Where was that bite? All right. Can you bend the finger pretty good?
Yeah, it's still kind of numb though to feel the finger and everything. She just done the stuff where you put
Evan's whole body is affected, a long way from the bite site.
Kind of both the muscles and the joints?
Yeah,
Both
like
legs?
Yeah, this one more than the other one, but it's just kind of like a steady ache all the time.
Yeah. Is it mostly in the thighs or in the calves
In
there?
the calves down here more than it is up here.
Well, it takes a long time to recover, but a snake bite like that, just don't expect to be 100% until a year.
Yeah.
He says he's having pain.
Why does a bite affect a human victim so much? It's not designed to kill humans, but it is perfectly designed to kill rodents. Sean needs to know how snakes kill their prey. 900 miles north at Washington State University, Professor Ken Cardong has studied rattlesnake bites for 3 decades.
All right.
It's only in the laboratory that Ken can study the bite in detail, carefully recreating events that happen every night in the desert. Research has shown an ambush in the wild has 3 vital elements. The snake must encounter a rodent. It must strike it. The split-second injection of venom will immobilize and kill the prey and may start digestion. And it must be able to track its crippled prey. Ken studies that tracking ability. In this experiment, he has set up the mouse trail down the Y shape and off to the right towards the letter B. He predicts the snake will follow that invisible odor trail.
Now we come into this after the snake has struck. He's just emerging. The tongue flicking is gathering those chemicals that are actually on the trail. There's a moment here of confirming what chemical image he has and the trail in front of him. So you see him here as he starts to swing to his left, making sure that the mouse didn't bound off in one dash to the left and break the scent trail. So they do this sweep to one side just to make sure that they really are following the important scent trail that will take them to the mouse.
Now is he kind of, I guess, triangulating on this mouse scent, you know, between his organs on the side of his face?
Now watch what happens right about here. Now he goes over the trail. See him almost catch it? And so he's now reconfirmed that that's where the trail is. It's not off to the left, but it's right in front of him. Now he's on the trail.
And what percentage of the time do they get the right path?
This one we have a choice of a struck trail versus just water. And in those there, they get it right about 98% of the time.
There he goes.
He's made his decision. Off he goes.
Ever so cautious.
Ever so cautiously. When we give them a tougher kind of a trail to follow, something such as where it's one side of the trail is of the mouse before it was struck, and the other trail is after that same mouse was struck, then the percentage of success drops to the high 80s.
In test after test, the snakes are able to detect the trail of a mouse that's been bitten. Somehow, the bite changes the mouse, releasing distinct odors the snake can track.
That's right. They're absolutely
Ken doesn't know yet just what happens in the mouse, but he believes it is a fundamental change. So a snake bite is a huge challenge, and humans may suffer the same fundamental change as any other mammal. That's why Sean's patients, including Evan, may need physical therapy to readjust. But the venom injection itself takes place in a split second. Under strict laboratory conditions, Ken's also studied that moment in great detail. And that helps answer Sean's ultimate question: how a rattlesnake bite can kill a human. Coming up on VenomER. A snakebite is designed to kill small mammals, yet one took Ralph Prado to the verge of death. Professor Ken Cardong has studied how snakes bite laboratory mice in order to understand the moment of the bite. His knowledge could help Sean identify the most severe bites and save lives.
What we do is we come in here and we open this door.
Snakes and lab mice are placed in the equipment. They'd be this close in the wild.
And if the snake is hungry, it will then strike at the mouse, launching itself outward. As it does so, it must necessarily push against the force platform. The high-speed camera will capture that from the side and in this overhead mirror, and the force platform itself will send those readings through this equipment of analysis and amplification, and we can actually see the forces that are generated through that very brief strike.
His research film is amazingly detailed. The snake arches around the mouse on the injection, then flings its head back to disengage. This bite is very risky for the snake, too. It's the neck arch that places the fangs for accurate injection. It's perfect for killing prey. But Ken's discovered that a bite, especially a defensive one, can go wrong.
Here's another one that's set up to take prey about that size. See, misses.
Oh, wow, he's got multiple bites there.
Multiple bites.
Yeah, that's incredibly fast.
Now, when you're looking at these medical situations, that's what we're guessing, is that instead of that normal kind of an arch that positions the fangs, what we think may be happening is that as it hits a large upright object, that normal planting of the fangs is disrupted, and it can go in one of two ways. It either can produce less venom that goes in as a disruption, or the snake may try to compensate for what it may detect as that mistake and actually squirt in an extra load of venom.
Ken's shown that a rattlesnake aims for the soft tissue in its prey. But when a snake bites a human leg or finger, it hits big bones. That may cause multiple bites or an unnaturally long one, like the 15-second bite that took Ralph Prado to the verge of death. Nature has designed a lethally efficient event. The most dangerous bites happen when everything has gone wrong. This season, the team have learned a lot. They've treated more snakebite cases than ever before, using nearly 500 vials of Crofab. There are more people in the area, so odds are there'll be more snake bites. There'll be more field rescues, hikers and climbers, as people venture farther into the wilderness. Yet there'll also be more domestic bites, as snakes are drawn into human areas. And there'll be more variation, as the venom changes in the face of these challenges. Awareness is the only defense. And that awareness will be vital for a new member of the local population, Jude Charles Bush. Now Sean and Amy face the same challenge as all the other parents in the VenomER team's area.
I think I'll be a very overprotective mom, and will probably be a little neurotic about watching out for snakes.
We're definitely going to teach him about safety around wildlife, and we're going to take precautions to ensure that he doesn't get hurt or bitten by a snake, just like you would do anything, just like you would have him in a car safety seat when you're driving in a car. But he's going to kind of change our lives in just ways that I can't even foresee, really. So I don't know what the future holds, but it's going to be exciting.